Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about the glucometer. Let's go with that business, right? Right now, let's do it. Okay, I've done 2 other videos. It's the afternoon. I'm so cranked up and I'm so excited. Excited. Yes, nothing can be this amazing but to survive on ketones with complete and utter mental clarity. Hormones, balance, right. Glucometer. Breathalyzer, right? You've got acetyl-CoA, you've got acetoacetate, you've got acetone, but what we really want is the blood values, right? CoA. What's in the cells? And even if you use a glucometer, it still can be subjective. But I feel very, very excited that I was the one, me, Steph, that started getting people to use the glucometer, not just to test the ketones, but really, the secret in it is to test the glucose. That's really where the power and understanding is. I think that there should be a glucometer in every home of anyone who's got bills, pay my bills, stress, life, kids, crazy, problems, death, mortgage, debt, illness, depression, any inflammation, disease, because when your body's stressed, your glucose spikes. We can't help that that's the body's natural defense to survive. So we've got many mechanisms to raise blood glucose back up. So when you test your blood glucose, there's different type of things that you want to look for. For example, insulin resistance would be glucose too high. It could also be glucose too low. But the thing is, without measuring your ketones, sometimes for ketogenic people, we don't know. But yes, generally speaking, if you have a glucose of under 80 milligrams per deciliter, for those in the US, and for those in the rest of the world that use millimolars and whatnot, and kilos and grams and weight, for those it would be 4.4 millimolar for glucose. For other countries, yes, so US, we use milligrams per deciliter. So we clear that confusion up. A normal person who eats carbs, who's healthy, who's insulin sensitive, should have a glucose of about 95. You know, they say 98, but if you're healthy, it really should be around 95. Now, as the day fluctuates, you eat a meal and you want to test your blood glucose about an hour to an hour and a half post-meal. That's to sometimes see if your glucose stays within a 10 milligrams per deciliter range, 10 to 12. But once it starts peaking in a higher parts of the day, you want to understand what type of inflammation is going on in the body, what kind of stress, what kind of cortisol, anything that's raising your blood sugar via the adrenals. So, milligrams per deciliter under 80. And some people get scared if they get down into the 50s. If you've got energy, and your glucose is in the 50s, you're using ketones. You're good to go. That's what we want. We want our brain to cross the bridge over to ketosis land to use ketones, viable source of energy. Very, very important. This, using ketones, will calm the cells down from glycation. So glycating factors would be sugar, destroying the protein of cells. That's glycation. It actually makes you glued together every time you eat chips and ice cream and all these processed starches. Essentially, you're having over that teaspoon of glucose into the bloodstream, 4 to 5 grams only at one time. And when you go over a teaspoon, you begin to glycate. Now, the true destruction of cells takes time. But now you see in younger people, you see hiccups. You see inflammation, you see candida overgrowth, you've got diabetes in young people, you see cancer on its uprising. So if your cells aren't functioning well, you got issues. Yes, you've got autoimmune issues or metabolic derangement. So with that said, as long as you're not shaky, you don't have any hypoglycemic symptoms, it's quite good to have your glucose under 80. And for millimolars, 4.4, under 4.4. Now, if you're in millimolars and you have a glucose of 4.7, 5.0, 5.2, 5.0 is where it starts to get a little watch what's going on, right? Because that's not good. 5.2, 5.4, 5.6, bad. Not good. And for your hemoglobin A1C and it's over 5.2, bad. It's not good. Okay. That's why I like to test the glucose. Because a lot of you guys pee on the urine strips. That's what's coming out of you. That's not what's going in the cell. You're not going to have energy, energy, energy because you got purple on your urine strip. I like to use urine strips to prove that people are not in ketosis. Because they could have their blood glucose great and their blood ketones fabulous and the numbers look like they're in ketosis, but they're still tired. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And I'll go, okay, well, let's test your ketones if they're coming out of your urine. Oh, and they are. Because over time when you actually use ketones, you don't register them in your urine because your body's actually using them. Yes! That's what we want. And we want someone like me, where it's almost upwards towards 6 o'clock in the evening, and I fasted towards 6. Yeah? I could be 10, 11 hour fast. But I always break my fast, honey. Break my fast in the morning. And I'm freaking cranked up, juiced up, monkey tones. But yet, I feel in my energy, I feel this sense of calmness, this balance, this feeling good, that when I breathe, I feel so good. So I know I'm not running on cortisol. Cortisol is not the thing. Blood sugar is not the thing. Get me all juiced up! Jump, jump! No, it's just straight euphoria, appreciation, and ketones. Through that Krebs cycle. So here we go. What are your ketones? Well, oh yeah, I've got these because I did a video on my blue blockers, and you know I must digress. Get these guys. What are you waiting for? You want to have that sense of balance? You want to be in a parasympathetic state in the evening? Get these mother suckers. Google it. Really big in the early 80s. I'm an 80s baby. I was in high school then. Okay, so with that said, oh yeah, I graduated in 1984. Do the math. Okay, so with that said, from high school, ketones, a really great spot is a 2.0. Yes, that's a sweet spot. When your ketones get too high, again, they become unusable. Kind of like that protein. You crank your protein up too high, how can this little machine be like, okay, peptides, digestive enzymes, okay, hydrochloric acid levels, rise, break down the protein, break it down, get into small little particles, and fit it into the bloodstream via the small intestine? Are y'all tripping? Oh, hell no. Yes, pulling out the black girl. Yes, no, that doesn't work. No. Body's not some, what? Now, I know I just gave numbers for the glucometer, but even the glucometer, like I was trying to say that you cannot predict your body in numbers, so even be careful with the glucometer, because it is possible to have perfect ketogenic numbers and still be tired. You still haven't fixed your adrenals. You still haven't fixed the inflammation. You're still slathered in cortisol. Do a journal of how you feel according to the number. Be careful the glucometer that you get, the most notable, credible ones that are even still, they still even can be subjective because the numbers can be very not always on point, come correct. Freestyle. Now I know Asia can get freestyle. There's also Precision Extra, that's very common in the US. Freestyle was made very easily available in Canada, but now the U.S. is starting to show up at Targets and stuff like that. The ketone strips are expensive. You can go to Amazon, get them out of the box. I know in England they're really cheap in England because you get the eBay. You can also order on eBay the ketone strips here. Glucose, also eBay for the U.S. people, sells glucose strips for $31 for a box of 100. Look for it. 100 strips, yo, you could test all the time. Because you know how many are in the ketone box? 10. Right? 10. So you measure once a week. And that's, I mean, would you want to measure more? Yeah, but can you? I'm sorry, it's just not possible. So, with that said, cannot predict your body numbers. So the whole calorie theory, 500 calories from a steak is not going to break down like 500 calories from sugary cookies. What about the state of your metabolism? Me? I can eat a freaking cake the size of my body, still got the business, because I'm insulin sensitive. My body can take glucose and use it as energy. Not everybody's the same. So when people start talking about calories and the treadmill and all this garbage, I'm like, oh my goodness, stop. MyFitnessPal, bullshit. When are you guys going to learn how to eyeball? Write it down once. Use the MyFitnessPal as just not their calculations. Write in, eyeball it, figure out what 200 grams of fat is, figure out what the net carbs or total carbs are depending on the food, fiber or not, broken down raw or not. Yes, complicated. And your protein levels under 100, guys. I don't care how big you are. Yes. Then you chart it, you look at it, and you start to journal how you feel, how your sleep is, how many dreams per night you have. Do you dream at all? Do you remember some semblance of dreaming? That's what you got to do. But get that glucometer. That'll start you off. Someone like me has been doing this for 6 years plus. I don't need that crap anymore. Because Stephanie's got energy, energy, energy. And she's got the business. And I'm not dry. Got a lot of fat up in there. 80% fat. Almost 2,000 calories. I feel ripe. I feel good. I feel emotionally balanced. Period every month. No peri. I'm good to go. So if you guys want to learn more how to get into ketosis, because I say get rid of the breathalyzer, junk. Get rid of the urine strips, junk. Stop buying just the glucose monitor. Get glucose and ketone dual glucometer. Write a journal. Stop looking at that crap online. And if you do your due diligence to research and realize that everything can spike glucose. Stress, spin class, did you hear me stutter? HIIT training, staying up late, working out late, caffeine, allergens. You got eczema? You got itchy skin? You might have a histamine problem. You got thyroid issue? Goitrogenic foods. No goitrogenic foods. Boom! Root vegetables. Don't believe the hype. Stop looking at before and after pictures online because they're not true. Don't believe me? Go Google starvation mode and you can lose 30 pounds and your body fat percent can go back up. Stop stepping on the scale. Check your body fat percentage and stop under eating fat. Use your glucometer and get rid of it. If you're here to stay on keto, then you only need that in the beginning. Okay guys, I'm so happy because I'm happy and energized and young. Almost 50 in number, but not here, not on the outside, and not on the inside. So if you want to learn more, you guys, you can go to stephanieperson.com. Calm. I said calm. Don't say, think of any. Stephanie the Business Person on my Facebook fan page, The Business with quotations, or Stephanie Ketogenic on my Instagram to learn more. And I'm so excited for the future. You guys, because controversial Steph is not going anywhere. Peace out.